Yes.
I was dismissed from Kijabi, and I was told, just go to Nairobi and look whether you'll get a good doctor who will deal with this condition. This condition is very new to us.
Complex.
And it's so complex. You know, the first thing they tell you, go back to your family, try and see whether there is a condition like this. It is a new and rare condition. It's a harsh one. We are almost collapsing the lungs. The next thing, love your baby.
Yes.
And stick with your faith.
Yes.
And that's what I did.
Oh my goodness. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, Anita's Journey. It's been a while, we are all well, and thank you so much for the support that you have continued to give to us, your comments, you sharing our videos. We really appreciate that. We have a guest today. The guest here, she will introduce herself. I got to meet this amazing lady because she's amazing. When you hear her story, you will just hear it. I hope you'll be inspired by her story. I know for sure you'll be inspired by her story. I got to meet her through a friend who shared a link of Anita's story to her. By the time the friend shared this story, the guest was in India, and she'll get to tell you what she was doing there. And she reached out to me. So as you can see, the stories that I share here, and you get to share with people who needs to hear them, they are making an impact. So thank you very much. And this guest, I say she's amazing. I got to meet her a few weeks ago. I got to listen to her story, and I was very encouraged to hear her story. She has amazing children, and she has 2 children who have special needs. She'll tell you about their needs. And her story, I told her she has to come and we get to share her story so that somebody out here who is going through the same can be encouraged. And that's the only way we know we can walk this journey together. It's not easy. We don't make it look easy. And we know we need each other. So thank you so much. Welcome. I'll let my guest introduce herself. Karibu sana to Anita's Journey.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to this platform. I am so grateful for this opportunity. And it's my prayer that I will help or inspire someone who might be going through whatever similar thing, maybe of whatever we are going through. My name's Winnie Njoroge, a mother of 2 beautiful and wonderful daughters who are able differently. And thank you very much for your invitation.
Thank you. Karibu sana Winnie to the show. And as I mentioned to you, we've already known I have a special needs girl, my daughter Anita. She's next month she's celebrating her 28th birthday. She was born with cerebral palsy, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey of ups and downs. Some people look at us and they think it's, they say that we make it look easy, but bringing up a special needs child, it has never been easy.
True.
It's only by God's grace that we are able to do this. And I would like you to just tell us, I know you have 2 daughters, Nicoletta and Nicolina.
Nicolina, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Start by telling us, maybe just, who are you first of all, Winnie?
Okay.
Before we go to your daughters.
Thank you very much, Kathy. I'll say I am a mother of 2 babies, and I'm gifted differently also because when God gave us that chance to be parenting those special babies, one thing he made sure that he had given me is a special heart. I am born and raised in Muranga. But after that, after adulthood, you go for,
Looking for pastures.
looking for green pastures. I landed in Kiambu,
Okay.
and that's been our residence for some years.
Okay.
I have two babies. The firstborn is Nicoletta Modoni, and the secondborn is Nicolina Njeri. The funniest thing about my daughter's stories, they were born very, very okay. I'll start with my firstborn. Modoni, that is Nicoletta, was born had a very, very good pregnancy journey. We did not have challenges. But at the end, I remember my pregnancy passed 42 weeks. And that is when the doctor decided, it's funny, I'm not getting any labor. And they had to induce.
And that was your first pregnancy?
That was my first pregnancy.
Yes.
See, and it was okay.
Yeah.
And as you know, every mother, being a first child, you're so excited.
Yeah.
You have so much ambitious expectations, and also you wish all the best. You wish to have a very healthy baby. And here Nicoletta came, a very brown lady. And like a very brown girl.
Yes.
And I was so excited.
Yeah.
So I raised her. But I remember, in our family, I'm the firstborn.
Okay.
Me and my brother have a difference of 10 years.
Wow. How many siblings do you have?
We are just two.
Okay.
So, being that we have that huge gap,
Yes.
I was praying, God, I don't need this gap.
Yes.
One thing, because I don't have a bonding between me and my brother.
You didn't get somebody to
we
play
didn't get someone to pray with.
Yeah.
And again, also, you remember our parent,
Yes.
they used to make sure you are at your place.
Yes, yes.
Not going to relatives, you have to stay at your home.
Okay.
And it became very hard for me.
Okay.
So when I was thinking of having a family, I was praying God to give me kids who will just have
Follow each other
follow each
closely.
other and have a limited gap.
Okay.
So, and by the time Nicoletta was 2 years,
Yes.
I had Nicolina.
All right.
So, and
So Nicoletta is born.
Yes, born,
And she's grown, she's achieved her milestones.
very well without challenges.
Okay.
And now her sister comes in,
Yes.
but comes in with challenges
Okay. From birth.
from birth.
You had a smooth pregnancy.
Very smooth, but at 37 weeks,
Yes.
I couldn't hear the fetal.
The baby playing.
Yes, the baby playing,
Yeah.
the impulse, you cannot feel the baby moving.
Okay.
At one point, I thought I'm overwhelmed. You know, this gap,
Yes.
this small baby, the pregnancy journey sometimes it's very tiring.
Yes, yes.
So I thought maybe I'm overwhelmed.
Yes.
But that was not the case. I almost lost my second baby
Okay.
because there was a placenta ablation already. But that is, we knew it after delivery because I had to go for an emergency CS.
Okay.
And they found the placenta have already separated from there. So there was a very little movement, and when they removed the baby, they said, there's a preterm. But a preterm which can be taken care of and become term without much struggle.
Yes, yes.
And remember this big one, it's also a child, this
Yes,
baby.
yes.
And Nicoletta did not have any issue until 5 years.
Wow.
We started having a challenge with Nicoletta at 5 years.
Yes.
So at one point, it's like Nicoletta did not become a lesson to us. You see?
Yes.
Because here comes at 2 years, here comes a newborn.
A newborn?
Who have a challenge. And from the one day, I could tell the second baby, Nicolina, have an issue.
Did the doctors, when you got Nicolina, did the doctors mention any issue apart from being preterm?
Yeah.
Was there any issue or any diagnosis from birth?
I don't like saying about it because it was one of the disheartening case.
Yes.
The doctor came and said, don't worry, hii ni maubire tu. Which the doctor did not expound on it.
Yes.
And every time, I remember the 4th day after delivery,
Yes.
I went back to hospital with a very bad, like a pneumonia attack.
You or the baby?
The baby.
Okay.
And when I went, they said the baby have a pneumonia attack. I just questioned them. 4 days. We have been in this hospital for 3 days. I've just gone home yesterday. Again, I'm back.
So the baby at that point was 1 week.
Oh, 4 days.
4 days.
4 days.
Okay.
Remember, those are the days when we used to be in hospital for
Just the day you
3 days,
deliver.
and you go home and
Yes.
kill smoothly.
Okay.
So after I'm discharged, following day I'm back to hospital.
Okay.
So, but also I went to the same pediatrician,
Yes.
and the pediatrician just said, okay, let me give some pneumonia antibiotics, and hii ni maubire tu.
Now you have pneumonia.
I have the doctor have said this is pneumonia, but the same statement, hii ni maubile.
Was there any like physical, you see, anasema maumbile, was there anything you could see with your own eyes?
Yes, I could see my baby had a very light skin. You could see through. You could see the veins.
The veins.
You could see the heart. The heart was like, it was almost out.
Like
It was,
she was
you could see
transparent,
it.
the skin.
The skin was so transparent.
Yes.
And also I could see the heart murmuring. And it was hard. It was hard because you're like, what is happening to my baby? Because you're telling me it's pneumonia. From first day I've seen this much perpetration and haishi.
Yes.
Then how can you tell me ni maumbile? Can you expound what is this maumbile?
And now you as a mother, you're able to see the difference because already you have another baby.
Who is
So
very okay.
you knew from the word go, this is not how a baby's skin or should look like.
Yes.
Okay.
So I struggled, but it was so unfortunate. After 7 days, I went back again. And remember, I'm a CS mom. So you're struggling with your CS,
Healing the wound.
healing the wound,
Yes.
the post traumas, you
Yes.
have them. And here is a baby who is not sleeping, who is not feeding well, and who is sickly. At one point, that is when I said, I almost forgot I have a firstborn who is waiting for me. But in one or the other, at least I was able to balance.
Was the baby breastfeeding at this point?
Yeah, but she couldn't breastfeed well.
Okay, struggling.
And she was struggling. She couldn't be able to suckle well.
Okay.
And also I used to try to feed with a spoon. You could see she's a bit weak.
Okay.
And at one point she could feed, not belching, but she could vomit immediately. So I was advised to use some powder milk then. It became worse. So I decided to suppress and stop and give my milk,
Breast milk, yes.
breast milk.
Yes.
And that was how our journey started, as tough as it was.
Wow.
We struggled all through.
Yes.
With on and off hospital. I think doctors became my best friends. Because after every 7, 4, 5 days, you are back to hospital.
Yes.
And my baby started having an IV line as from 8th day.
8th day.
Yes.
The first time you go, they say it's pneumonia.
Yes.
The second time you go, they're still saying it's
It's pneumonia, yeah. The third time, pneumonia.
So
Therefore-
at what age
Yeah.
did the doctor like give any other diagnosis other than pneumonia?
I stayed with pneumonia until 2 years.
Treating pneumonia for 2
Treating
years.
pneumonia for 2 years.
There was
no any
diagnosis?
other, because our issue was breathing,
Yes.
oxygen level,
Yes.
and they used to say there is pleural, yani maji kwa kifua all the time.
Yeah.
So that is, they used to say that is pneumonia.
Yes.
And in many ways, that is how pneumonia sometimes happens.
Were you admitted between in that span of 2 years? Were you admitted?
No, I used to go to hospital. If I had to go to hospital, I had to go daily.
Were there any like X-rays, scans, or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
They used to take us through scans
Yes.
and x-rays.
Yes.
They could see they are seeing very congested chest. Sometimes they will tell you the heart is big. And at that point, no doctor who is telling you your baby have a heart condition.
Wow.
We battled. The baby had a very delayed milestone. Very delayed. And I became a very confused mother. But at around 2 years, I remember at one point she got a very bad attack. And I remember going to Thika Level 5 and leaving the baby to the doctor.
Yes.
Now do whatever you want to do to this baby. It's becoming too much.
Yes.
You're not telling me the truth. Every time is Maubile. This baby is suffering. And I'm also suffering emotionally.
Yes.
So that is the point where the doctor came through and sat me down.
Yes.
And said, I want you to go and do a very clear x-ray.
Yes.
And let's now try to check what is the issue.
Now she's 2 years.
She's 2 years.
Yes.
This baby is not walking. This baby is not sitting down well.
Wow.
So it's a journey of hospital, pediatrician,
Therapies.
Nutritionists. Kathy, you see the way I am, I was
Yeah.
still like this. So it was so humiliating to go to a nutritionist and they're like, hey, mama, why are you not feeding your child?
Umekula, but you're not feeding the,
Why are you not,
the child.
And they were not even in any way considerate. I could just cry. And they used to give us protein nutrients on and off. At one point, I was almost admitted, and I told them, if today you admit this baby, and tomorrow she will add kgs,
It's okay.
it's okay. I'm ready for it.
Because at 2 years, like how was her weight?
Hey, 6 kgs.
Wow. 6 kgs, that's about a baby
We
of
struggled with
3 months.
she was born with a baby weight of 2.4,
Yes.
and we stayed to 2.8 until 1 year.
2.8.
Yes. So the doctor could tell me it's all because this baby is getting sickly all the time.
Yeah.
And that is how we went to a nutritionist clinic.
Okay, you've gone for the X-ray. What was the?
When we went there, I'll never forget.
Yes.
The radiologist, after they took the first shot, they were like, "No, this baby have a curved spine." I was like, no. And they're like, shika mkono na mimi nishike mguu, we straighten. Tupige picha mzuri. Maybe
Oh
they
my
don't.
God. So one is holding.
I was on the head, shoulders, and another one was on the leg, trying to straighten up the baby.
Yeah.
It was so unfortunate. Whatever they had seen was the reality. So the baby had a curved spine, and they could tell this baby have a big heart. So when they went to write their report, they indicated. I remember crying, and my baby was sitting on my laps, trying to wipe my tears.
Oh dear.
What is wrong? By that time, Nicolina used to talk, but she couldn't be able to do a lot.
Yeah.
And since she was my handbag,
Yes.
hawezi enda bila yeye, huwezi achia house girl. It was harsh.
Yes.
So alikuwa anajua wakati mom is not well.
She
and
knew you.
my mom is so strong, but today was worse. I went to the same doctor, and I remember I was so bitter. I was like, Daktari, you knew whatever is disturbing my baby. Why are you telling me Maubile? I need you to explain why this Maubile, because it seems you knew from first day.
Yes.
And you knew this is a journey that I walked through. And I was so bitter.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the doctor by that time, she was battling his husband's also medical journey.
Okay.
So the best word she told me is like, Winnie, it's not an easy journey,
Yes.
but I'll assure you, this baby will grow despite you'll go through much challenges. I want you to go and see a cardiologist, and I want you to transfer yourself to Kijabi. Don't come here again. Go see a cardiologist who is a pediatrician, and go see a orthopediatrician, because your baby have a spine issue and a heart issue.
And a heart issue.
Hey, Kathy, you remember those days in Zile? Ukiambiwa heart condition, you know there is no survival.
Yeah.
I went to Kijabi
Yes.
and started our hard medical journey from there.
Okay.
I was taken under a nutritionist first.
Yes.
Because every doctor will tell you
The baby is underweight.
Underweight. And they will strongly say, you're not feeding the child. So the cardiologist came through and confirmed my baby have a bigger heart, big aorta, and we have a small hole. And
In the heart?
Yes, in the heart. And the valves are not working well.
Yes.
And we went again to the orthopedic, and they said the spine, yes, it's curved, but nothing can be done. Unless they do 6-month follow-up,
Yes.
they see whether there will be progression. But remember, even when we are doing this, our IV line is there. Pneumonia, we are still treating it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We are malnourished at one point.
Yes, yes.
And
So it's a concoction
it
of...
was a concoction of issues,
Issues,
a round
endless,
of issues.
yeah.
Yes. I'm so grateful the cardiologist that I found was a very motherly lady.
Yes.
She
At
took
Kijabi.
me through a very, very good journey. And that is where she came through and told me, your baby, I'm suspecting she have a condition by the name Marfan's syndrome. It is a new and rare condition. It's a harsh one. Your baby can survive if only you can follow
Yes.
the doctor's steps
Yes.
and stick closely to the doctors.
Yes.
And do as the doctors say. The next thing, love your baby
Yes.
and stick with your faith.
Yes.
And that's whatever I did.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Now from here, it's like you and your baby.
Yes.
At this point, she's your handbag.
Yes.
And what the doctor is saying, she's going to be your handbag for a very long time.
Hiyo ni ile unaambiwa.
Yeah.
Sasa.
Buckle up.
Yes. Be ready.
Buckle up. This is a
Be
journey.
ready. This is a journey.
This is a journey.
And that is you and your daughter.
Let me ask you, Winnie.
Yes.
Before you got this diagnosis,
Yeah.
had you ever had somebody else with such a diagnosis?
No.
Yes.
That was so new to me.
Yes.
Because most of the conditions used to and I encountered, professionally I'm a social worker, and I remember I was working an NGO where I was rescuing babies who had heart conditions, CP, autism. You could get people, when they give birth, they leave those children. And sometimes I could ask myself, yani mzazi aliamua tu aache mtoto. But at that point, that is when I came to realize, si kuacha wanaachanga.
Yeah.
Because also at one point when I was in Kijabi, I felt like I can walk away. And the reason why they think of it, it's not because they don't love their children. It's like, I am not capable. What do I have? Do I have finance? No. Do I have I'm not prepared for this.
I can relate because I stopped judging parents. When I see a parent with a special needs child, I honestly stopped judging why. You could hear stories of people who tie up their children. It's very inhuman. It's wrong. I do not even support such a heinous action of tying up a child. Yeah. But I imagine there is a mother who has other like 2-3 children looking up to her. She has to feed them. She has to pay her bills. And out of options,
yes,
sometimes they have to do that. And the society has not even helped as much because there is also stigma.
Yeah.
Like now, if you are to go work, for example, and tell somebody, I want you to stay with Nicolina for a day because I'm going to do this and that. Many people, when they hear her condition, they will not agree. They will not agree. For one, Nicolina is delicate.
Yeah.
She needs like around-the-clock attention. Yeah. And I can tell you, not so many people are willing to wear that shoe on behalf, even for a day. So I get what you are saying about parents leaving their children in hospital. It's very unfortunate, but sometimes it gets to that point.
Remember also when you have a situation like that, yes, the first thing they tell you, go back to your family, try and see whether there is a condition like this. Yes. Who are you going to tell? who is the only first person you can run to? You run to your mother.
Yes.
Why not? Because you're like, you don't need to go to your spouse first.
Yeah.
Go to your family where you originated.
Yes.
And also after that, you just ask your mother, have you ever heard of these? Have you ever gotten these conditions? And then your spouse is like, let me go check on our area. And not so many people in the family who will welcome this.
Oh, yeah.
And
we don't like being associated with illnesses
that is where
and
story
problems.
of witchcraft starts.
Oh, yeah.
And I thank the Lord for one thing, because when this happened, I grounded myself in faith. Because what I just tried to relate is, does God hate me this much? No. Does God hate this family so much? No. Are we the people who are so wrong in this society? No. And that is where, Kathy, I added 14 kgs in 2 weeks.
You indulged with, it's called what? Comfort eating.
Not comfort eating.
Yes.
I slept a lot.
Oh, slept.
Because also I was feeling so overwhelmed. Yes. I was confused. And then at this point, nobody will want to come close to you. When you come and you go to the family, you come try to discuss it and with your spouse, and like, oh, it's hard for you to. And all of you are trying to run away from this reality of a condition. And at one point, I had to seek for counseling because I was feeling like I need also to give up.
Yes.
I'm so thankful to my mom.
Yes.
Because at one point she called me and told me, God knows why.
Yes.
And she could remind me, remember you are taking care of special children who you don't know their mothers, where they are.
Yeah, as a social worker.
As a social worker.
Yes.
So maybe God saw you did it better and saw it better to give you.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the hardest things. And I felt like I need to hate my mother. But at one point I was like, okay. God, I'm ready for this.
Yes.
And the cardiologist took us through a lot of tests and advised me, this condition is a condition that is it affects the collagen and also connectivity tissues, and it happens from conception. So when it happened, so many things went missing, and that is why we found it already affected the heart, it affected the spine, and the doctor now said we need you to go to a pulmonologist. I didn't know there are people who are like that. Unasikia your specifications at that point.
Yes.
And ophthalmologist.
Yes.
And I'm always grateful because that lady did not charge me for that session.
Wow.
She told me, just go do them, you'll come and pay the bills later.
Yes.
I did as she advised.
Yes.
It was so unfortunate when I reached, I had to go to Lion's Eye.
Yes.
I found a very good team. They were like, okay, this baby already, you have a documented story about her, and the doctor have written something of suspension of this Marfan syndrome. They're like confirming it to you because it affected the lenses. Her lenses were detached.
Oh.
So sometimes we could see when you give the baby a phone, instead of looking at it at this level, she's like bringing it closer. Why? Because the lenses are about somewhere here.
Oh.
At one point, she could tell me, Mom, sikuoni. Naona kama ni mchezo. Namwambia wewe acha kunichezea. Umenizoea sana. Because now we are here, all of us. You could see like she's looking for more attention.
Yes.
But it was unfortunate. That was the reality.
She can't see you.
She cannot see me. And the doctor advised we are not going to give her specs. We have to put some eye drops and do a regular checkup.
Yes.
In case the eyes the lenses detach and it goes to us, you'll come through for a surgery.
Wow. It's corrected. It can be corrected through
a surgery. Yes. Okay. They can change the lens and put another one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And I had also the same day. Now remember, I've become a crazy mother. Yes. I went to a pulmonologist in Aga Khan.
Yes.
And I think in our country we have just one pulmonologist.
Yes.
I had to get to a drama for it to be seen.
Because I can imagine now the queue, the
queue,
waiting line.
Yeah, people are there waiting. People are on clinic.
Yes.
I'm not in the queue. I'm not in the line.
You don't have an appointment.
I don't have an appointment. I need it now. And I need it today. Because what registered my mind is my baby is in a hard situation.
Yes.
So if I don't do this,
it's a matter of urgency.
It's a matter of urgency.
Yes.
And I was able to, and the pulmonologist said, yes, your baby have an issue with the lungs. Her little vials and alveoli, they are very tiny.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Now, at this point, Nicolina has a curved spine.
Yes.
She has the heart issue.
Yeah.
It's big and it has a hole.
Yes.
Her sight is affected.
Yes.
What is her lungs now?
Yes.
What's wrong now with her lungs?
Her lungs are valves. They are affected. They are very tiny. So she's not getting enough air.
Oh goodness.
After that, I just sat back and started thinking, now, where do I start?
Where next now?
Where next? And I was due. Remember, even all this time we are on and off medication, on and off doctors. Not because we are seeing a cardio.
Yes.
We are not in a physician's office. So it was a circle. Monday uko hapa, Tuesday pale, Wednesday pale. There was no week that I didn't see a doctor.
Yes.
I'm so grateful to some of my friends who came through.
Yes.
And they used to help us. Mtu anajitolea tu vizuri kukupeleka hospitali sababu hakuna otherwise.
You mentioned friends. Did you have a medical cover at this point?
No. I just
you're
have
paying
NHIF. I'm paying with cash.
With cash?
Yes. By that time, we had businesses.
Yes.
So we could get some source from a business.
Okay.
And also my parents could chip in.
Yes.
Few relatives could come through.
Yes.
But remember, at one point, people get tired.
Because it's a journey. It's not a short journey.
And you don't know when this journey will end.
Oh, it seems from here, it seems endless.
Yes.
So now you have all these diagnoses together. I assume you're working with a briefcase of papers. Eh?
Yeah.
Did you go back to the cardiologist?
No cardiologist. We used to see her every 3 months.
Out of all these diagnoses, is there any like a treatment plan? What are the doctors saying at this point?
Marfan syndrome, first of all, it does not have cure.
Is it progressive?
It is a very progressive disorder.
Yes. And
a disorder that cannot tell you the next thing what will happen. So today you are dealing with the spine, and the spine can take you at all. Tomorrow is the eyes. And at some point, remember as she grew, because aliendelea kugrow kama mtoto wa kawaida, the spine went on curving. And it's still curving as I see the orthopediatrician also.
Yes.
But they're telling you, we cannot do anything because of the heart.
Yes.
When you're from although you go to the cardiologist tell you, no, tell them the spine is giving the heart pressure. And it's giving the lungs pressure. Tell them to treat the spine.
The spine is curving because the heart is big? Or
No. The spine is curving because this is a condition that affects the spine.
Okay.
So, because it's a disorder, it's progressing.
Yes. So it's affecting other
haina any blocker. So kama inaguza spine, imeiguza. And it continues bedding as the child grows.
Yeah.
If the heart is having this issue, instead of getting to the best, even with medications, it's getting to us.
Yes.
Because with syndromes, if you don't get some stem cells or you don't get a blocker to it, there is progression. And despite there is this low growth, the syndrome does not stop.
Yes.
That was the main challenge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Winnie, now you have like several diagnoses for Nicolina.
Yeah.
how now from where now she's around how old now?
Right now we are 12 years. We are heading 12 years.
At that point where you had all
out.
those concussions of diagnosis, she was around how old?
Now this is a journey.
Yes.
A journey for every year you're battling different conditions.
Yes.
So every year maybe you have struggled with
There's a new
adjustment or new features which are coming up. At around 7 years, things got worse. The spine went to about 65 degrees. We started battling hypertension, which even when the cardiologist was trying to give it was not working. The pulmonologist said we are almost collapsing the lungs. So there was no otherwise. We had to look for intervention for the spine. And it was so sad. Remember, I'm continuing from 2 years, 3, 4, 5. I'm still on a clinic for the orthopedic for the spine. I was dismissed from Kijabi. And I was told, just go to Nairobi and look whether you'll get a good doctor who will deal with this condition. This condition is very new to us.
Complex.
And it's so complex. Number 2, the baby is so fragile. You're not adding kilos. This baby is not eligible for surgeries. And I think the heart is the main issue. And I came and I found a good doctor and said, now the spine need to be taken care of. And after we did an MRI, remember when you're sent for an MRI, it's another procedure because they have to sedate your child. The child cannot stay in that machine for long when awake. And that was my hardest time. I remember, I think it's the day that I posted like crazy person in FB. I need prayers. I was feeling like God is so far. Despite the other days I've walked this journey, it was hard. Now,
right there, for you to be sent for an MRI, of course there is a problem. But for a special needs child, an MRI testing itself, it's a ceremony. A big one, because sedating them, trying to make them, understand, and even the positioning of them. It involves even the people there, a lot of cooperation. It's not I usually tell people, for Anita to go for just a dental examination, it requires like 4 people to be present. Just to open the mouth and check the teeth, it requires a team. So I can only imagine MRI.
We did it and she worked up very well. And unfortunately, they said the curve is not at 65, it's at 95.
It has progressed.
It has progressed. So no, otherwise it's an urgent surgery. I started looking for funds. And I remember that evening I went home and I have a daughter by the name Nicoletta who is at home. The house girl was like, hey, Mama Cherry, mtoto anazubaa. And I was like, how?
Now Nicoletta, who is your firstborn?
Mtoto anazubaa aje?
You're from an MRI? For Nicolina.
Wewe ni story uko nazo. Akaniambia, no mama. As we were talking, the same incident happened. The baby started walking towards the wall and pushing the wall.
Wait a minute. At this point, your firstborn is how old?
Around we are around 7. That is around almost 8 years.
8 years. And all this time she's been okay?
She's been very okay.
You've been running up and down with your second born.
Up and down with second born. But at 5 years, I remember there was a time when Nicoletta was 5 years. I remember there was a time the house girl I had was like, sioni mtoto akiwa sawa. Why she's crying for nothing?
But you are so busy with this other one.
I'm so busy with this other one. And
you're up and down. So you're wondering, this is just house girl making up the story.
And that 5 years, I took this baby to a cardio as I was going with Nicolina to the cardio. And cardio was like, then this is a serious thing. And I was sent to a neuro. And a neuro sent us for some tests for EEG and an MRI. And neurologist said your baby is having absence seizures, but they will end.
Let me make it clear for our viewers.
Yes.
You are running with, let's call them now Kikuyu names for differentiation of Nicoletta, Nicolina here,
Yes.
so that you don't get confused.
Yeah.
You are running up and down with Njeri
Yes.
from the time she was born.
Yeah.
Because Njeri has got these concussions of diagnosis and issues.
Yes.
Now Muthoni, who is your firstborn,
Yeah.
you've started, the house girl has started mentioning
Yes.
she might be having an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But because you are so busy, you are not paying more attention
Yes.
to Muthoni's issues, which are not visible in your own eyes.
Yeah, true. And I went to the neuro. I was given.
So you took Muthoni with you?
Yes,
on one of the trips?
Yes, and I was given a medication,
Uh-huh.
and I started giving medication without, that much, because this other issue is the urgent, and
It's
the
a
harsh
mountain.
one. It's the mountain for me.
Yes.
And my baby started taking drugs like that. But at the time I was from an MRI, my house girl was like, this baby is not getting well. But I was like, si anakunywa dawa? Na sioni mambo mengi. Akaniambia, no, just wait and see. At one point akaenda kitchen, akasukuma gas. I was like, wait, this is harsh. And I remember waking up following morning with Nicolina on my Njeri kwa mkono, Muthoni kwa mgongo, and I went back to the doctor. The cardio, I have not gone to the neuro. I've gone to the cardio now. Remember, this doctor have become my mother, my everything. And I'm like, my baby is suffering from something. And when we came to see you, you sent us to a certain doctor, alitupea dawa. Ni kama hazifanyi. We were sent to another neurologist.
Yes.
And the neurologist was said your daughter have a very bad epilepsy.
Oh my goodness. Now Muthoni has been diagnosed with epilepsy. Njeri, we have a list.
Yes.
We are working with a briefcase of diagnosis.
Yes. Which are not treatable. They are just manageable.
Let's put Muthoni's diagnosis aside first. Let's continue with Njeri. Njeri now has been recommended for further and urgent treatment.
I wanted to show you how confused and how hard it was. Where do I pick up? What do I do? Who do I throw? Who do I pick? And with help of few friends, they are like, let's follow up Nicolina's case, because at this point, it's the one which is giving you sleepless night. But since you have seen a neurologist, let the epilepsy case be tackled, and epilepsy taisha.
Yes.
So with that spirit, I went on with Nicolina's case.
Yes.
And I looked for funds, and I went to India with a very high hope that shida zangu zinaishia wapi?
India.